This is another taquito. We'll see about that. We are once again going to be covering Alien Earth. This is going to be episode 4.
It's pronounced Earth, idiot. Sorry.
Listen, I just watched Lilo and Stitch like 3 weeks ago.
And that's what sticks in your mind.
Still got the brainworms.
Yeah, it's the planet Earth. Yeah, so covering the newest episode of Alien Earth. This is a crazy week. I didn't get to watch it till today. Zach didn't get to watch it till today. And I don't know, Mike was doing something.
I watched it as soon as it dropped, and I just skimmed through it again.
Who is this, Corey?
If for those who don't know this voice, this honestly probably the most noticeable voice of anyone.
He's the most popular one on Neatcast. Our downloads
most popular on Neatcast. I think
there is no class.
I'm not gonna lie. I think he is the single most requested return guest after his Jaws appearance on Podcasters Disassembled.
It is true.
And Gremlins 2? Gremlins 2?
There's
the best movie of all time.
I don't even think people want me on there anymore. They're just like, yeah, what's Mike up to?
Stop it.
So, yeah, I've got Zach once again. If you have not listened to it, check out last week's episode on Alien Earth episodes 1 through 3.
All of you starting at episode 4. Yeah, way to go.
Yeah, so if you haven't paid attention, just go listen to that one first. It's only like an hour and 45 minutes.
A normal Neatcast.
Yeah, it's the same length as all 3 episodes.
Same length as a short Neatcast.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the Neatcast shorts. And the other person with us is Mike, who's also from Neatcast.
Hello.
Mike is... Oh, I like that.
Thank you, Zach. That was beautiful.
Yeah,
I got a look. That was great.
The Mike who reached out to me yesterday in a like semi-aggressive tone.
What
are you doing? I want to be on your episode.
You have no idea how hurt I was when I saw that you guys talked about Alien Earth and didn't invite
Zach brought
me.
up that you and Corey were talking about Alien Earth. I don't like that. I like the fact that Zach did something.
I was just outside with my hand on the window, standing out in the snow.
on a with a boombox on your shoulder, playing watching like Vangelis or something.
Yeah, watching you guys roasting chestnuts by the fire without me.
There are both chests and nuts.
That's true.
Yeah,
nuts on chests.
I mean, that is probably going to be one of the new forms. Is the chestnutter?
After watching this episode, clearly.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay, so Mike,
it's a goose burster.
I guess we could do like a real quick. What is your affiliation with Alien? Not aliens as the intergalactic species. For that, go listen to every episode of the new. Yeah,
we know you're a big fan of it because you joined us for Jaws in Space when we discussed this movie on Podcasters Disassembled, because it is a tremendously historic movie.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I loved Aliens. Fuck you, I'm going to talk about that one, even though you told me not to.
It's a great movie. It's still a good movie.
I'm going to repeat what I said in our Discord chat when we were talking about the Alien franchise. Alien is a generational first-time watch. That movie has vibes like crazy, and the first time you watch it, it is one of the most tense, terrifying movies you will ever see in your life. And after that, when you like start looking at the screen instead of covering your eyes, you realize it's just a guy in a rubber suit and he barely does anything in the movie. But it's still dope. Yeah, he jazz hands at people and then they cut away. But that first watch is incredible, and the movie still looks amazing. You guys were talking about how The Thing was a better movie. I agree. But the visuals and the vibes of Alien are just unmatched. They're so good. It scared the shit out of me as a kid. I watched it from like behind the couch when I was a very young child, and I vowed to never see it again until like 10 years later. And I was like, okay, this movie actually fucks quite a bit. This movie is awesome.
Decades later.
Yeah, and the Alien franchise, though, has been so frustrating, and it's a reason I love this show, because I think this is the first time the franchise has had worthwhile world building since Aliens. Like, I mean, okay.
Yeah, I agree with that, because they've pretty much rested on their laurels, and there hasn't been a lot of real addition to the lore and the world. Romulus I liked as a movie, but it didn't really add a whole lot to the world.
Other than people can birth basketball players.
Now, that's the conversation when we talk about Romulus. We don't want to get into that. That's in the future, Corey.
Oh, yes, it's on the list.
It'd be like if Star Wars came out. Prometheus, I mean. Would be like if Star Wars came out, and like 20 years later, they were like, finally, what everyone's been waiting for, the story of Boba Fett. No one gives a fuck. No one cares. No one who isn't an idiot cares. They released a Boba Fett series, which was dog shit. Finally, people were like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have learned more about Boba Fett. No shit! We should have learned more about the engineers either. They were a dope visual. They should have stayed that. They should have stayed a weird eldritch horror elephant man that they never talked about again. That's what they should have done. There's so much in this show that finally addresses the stuff I gave a shit about. Like when the Marines are like, oh, aliens? Oh, we got to hunt an alien. I guess it's another bug hunt. What's that mean? What does that mean? I want to know what they mean. This show explains why they talk about aliens like it's a bug hunt. Because they all live... Well... All these colonies are...
They all read Starship Troopers. Because it's a classic novel.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, were they fighting alien insects, literally, like Starship Troopers? No, it's because... It makes sense. Because these colonies are on, like, primordial planets, like rocks, basically. So if there were alien problems, it would just be, like, insects. So that's kind of what this show does.
One of the things that I had done a little bit more digging into when the show came out was the term, like Apone used bugs, but Xenomorph was what the guy in charge, the major, corporal, whatever, no, Hicks was a corporal, whoever was in charge in Aliens, dubbed the alien creatures Xenomorphs, but more as a general term. It's not the actual designation of this species. It's just what they refer to as a alien type entity. So all 5 species that they brought back are considered Xenomorphs.
Are they?
But they are by the
because like Xenomorph is just a descriptor, basically.
Yeah, okay. What they created in the film, it is just a descriptor of what it is. We as fans of the franchise refer to the alien species that we know as Xenomorphs because that's how it was referred to in the Aliens film. Outside of that, until this most recent episode, we really haven't heard anyone else refer to them as a Xenomorph, and again, that's just due to a descriptor of what it is.
In this episode... Oh, you said up to this episode, didn't you?
Yeah, up to this episode.
What you just witnessed, folks, is me speaking and Mike not listening.
Sorry, Dad. Sorry, Dad.
Mike is just ready to jump on that correction.
Listen, you bitch! You're wrong!
So Mike and I have not been together on a burrito, and usually on the Neatcast, we play opposite sides of the spectrum. I am not here to fight with Mike. I am here to agree with him on a wonderful IP. But Mike is still in defense mode because I usually beat him mercilessly with a soundboard that I use against him.
Yep, we are definitely
still on the spectrum.
I'm not doing
I was going to say, we on the Neatcast are definitely on the spectrum.
We are very spectrum-based. My genetics can confirm that.
But anyway, this episode... I thought it was fucking great, and things are going from like entertaining to like genuinely like what are they doing with this plot now?
It was fun. Corey, where do you want to go? This is your ship. We're just here to derail it.
Yeah. No, I'm as far as the overall opinion on what happened, because I enjoyed episode 3, but there was something about it that when I got done watching it, my thought was something needs to happen, because 3 was a very like, where are we going with this? Like, is about to get real good or real bad?
Filler.
Yeah,
almost a little bit of filler. There was content.
And I'm down with like getting a little bit more in character, because I think
there was character expansion.
Yeah, I think that's really what we kind of touched on for most of it, is that episode 3 is all character building, and it's like, okay, this is cool, but that's like the hinge of the show, is which way does this go? And I think 4 is really sending it, because 2 was like the best of the first 3. Like, you know, episodes 1, 2, and 3, I think 2 is the best, because that's where like we're seeing everything happen. 1 is build up, 2 is action, 3 is even more build up of the things that we already thought we were getting built up.
And it's a bit of
4 is
breakdown
execution.
Too,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. And also, what reassured me about the show, this episode like patted me on my little head and was like, "It's all gonna be okay, Michael," because I had this sinking feeling in my stomach that this show was gonna do what everything in the Alien franchise does: games, movies, novels. Eventually, they either become Alien or Aliens. They just retread one of those movies' plots. And I'm like, are we approaching Aliens? Are they gonna, like, these eggs are all gonna hatch and then this place is gonna be overrun and we're aliens now? Because at first it seems like they were doing Alien. It's like, now are they doing Aliens? Or are they gonna do something new? And now I'm convinced that they're gonna do something new. Which, thank God.
What do you think, Zach?
So the creator of the show has again said that he's trying to do this as it's loosely connected. So we take this as convenient canon for the most part. It is not hard canon of this definitively happens 2 years before Alien. That also happens before Romulus and Aliens and everything else. I like the fact that they are touching on things, because like you and I talked about, Corey, that there was some inkling that Weyland-Yutani knew of this species, and this is why they know of them. But at the same time, we can't have a full-on xenomorph infestation on Earth, because it would have been a more widely known concern and thing out there in the world, which did not exist in the IP until in later games like Fireteam Elite and some of the other ones. It's like, oh, xenomorphs and these encounters are a common thing that, you know, oh, we got to go wipe these fuckers out. I like what they're doing. I like that they're exploring with at least one of the other species, which we knew that they were going to be getting to. I'd still like to see a few more. There's still a 5th one that we haven't fully seen, and I know you touched on it last episode, Corey. Well, the hanging one, the little the
flower
dangler,
or whatever.
whatever that is, the fauna. There is a 5th one that I believe when Hermit was in the medical center, it like dragged across the ceiling behind a light, and you alluded to that being the xenomorph. But when I rewatched it, it doesn't look like a xenomorph. It looks like something completely different. I'm wondering if that's the 5th species we haven't even really looked at. Because we've looked at the ticks, the fauna. We're looking at the eyeball, which is the Tapia Kaicha Oceellus, the octopus eyeball. That is the one that we're now focusing on and studying beside the, quote, xenomorphs. But we did a bit more action and lining up and setting up for what is going to go wrong later in this episode, not just with the aliens, but Nibs. I suspected that not all these kids are going to successfully make the transition, and she right now is looking like the weakest link and is starting to have a mental break.
Yeah, so speaking of character development, because obviously the first 3, mainly just episodes 1 and 3 were character development. This, I think, is starting to solidify a few more things. because it's mostly just questions at first, and again, just wondering like where the hell are we going to go. So this episode, I think, does a great job of starting to make each character unique, and not on a surface level. Like, oh, this is the science caricature. Oh, this is the goofy caricature. Oh, this is the serious caricature. They're a little bit deeper. Like the science boy seemed almost a little jealous when Slightly comes in and he's like, oh, I was told to come grab something, and part of it was interest, but I also, something about his face, I felt like he was a little bit jealous that Slightly
he was
asked
like,
to get something.
why were you asked to get something?
Yeah.
But that matches like with kids going, well, like, because he was boasting about
he's
how
like, I'm the science one.
I get to choose my name. I'm now Isaac.
Yeah.
So he feels like, oh, I'm making headway with Kirsch, and I'm important now because I'm doing science stuff. But then Slightly shows up and he's like, oh yeah, this Johnson or whatever down in 3 Block A, he needs his mail, and he asked me to come down here to get something. Why would you do that? I'm the scientist. I think a very appropriate reaction to what a kid who thinks that they are feeling that they're more important.
And I also like in the interaction because it could only work if only the children are there. Well, he's very suspicious of him, but also kind of confused because they're literally robots. They can't forget.
Yeah.
They have like unlimited memory, so forgetting, it's I love how awkward that interaction was. But I'm mostly saving the conversation for Nibs because that I think is going to be the biggest topic. But Mike, what did you think about a lot of the children's interactions up until Nibs or surrounding Nibs?
I'm trying to find on IMDb the name of the one like teacher's pet robo-child who really wants to... Curly.
Oh, Curly is the one that wants the affirmation from Boy Genius.
Something is going to happen there. Something between her and Wendy. Something devious.
Oh, yes. Yeah. She's already showing signs of, like, I just want to replace Wendy.
Yeah. They're setting it up already with Boy Cavalier, or Kid Cavalier, whatever his fucking name is, being like, oh, you can speak French. Can you do that? When Wendy is producing the alien sounds.
I love that line, because what a fucking, knife.
You can speak French, but can you do that? Like, Boy Cavalier, I think in this episode, like, we've seen a bit of his manipulation, but we really see him start to manipulate in this episode.
Also, I gotta say...
Him and Morrow.
Also, I gotta say, the writing of the children's characters is so good. Like, these...
Yeah.
I almost think that the writer, I don't know if it's Noah Hawley, the showrunner, who I'm a huge fan of. I don't know if it's him still writing the scripts. I haven't been paying attention to the credits close enough. But I almost wonder if the writer actually spoke to their kid or something and feigned conversations and just to hear how they would respond, because it's so good. Like how the fact that when Wendy is apologizing to her brother, she's like, I'm sorry you had to go to a cemetery, instead of saying, I'm sorry you went to my funeral. That's such a thing a kid would say. I'm sorry you had to go to a cemetery.
That, disassociation.
Yeah. And also, when Curly, when he's like, do you hear that? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, don't say what I want to hear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the whole conversation with, what was the name of the kid who's being manipulated by Morrow?
Slightly.
The whole thing with Slightly's conversation with Morrow when he's blackmailing him is so genuinely terrifying. You feel like you're watching a kid being lured into a van. It's so creepy.
Oh, yeah.
It creeped me out more than I thought it would.
The van is currently inside his house.
It's terrifying.
Full of xenomorph eggs. I think one of the ways that you're able to get away with this also visually is the fact that you're not actually showing this happening to kids. And I think you forget that because physically you're seeing a young adult get manipulated, and you forget that that's a 9-year-old child that's being manipulated.
Yeah,
also, Noah is involved with writing for every episode. It's either Noah or Noah and somebody.
Yeah,
so Noah's
this one's
hands are all
Noah
over
and
every episode.
Bobak Esfarjani.
Yes. And then Noah has the next one all by himself.
Oh, damn. The Bobak person is known for WandaVision.
Well,
I thought WandaVision was great.
That
9
was
episodes.
a banger of a series as well.
That's good.
That get a lot of hate.
So before we leave Curly, I will say to the point, like on this topic of how well they're written, the first thing that Boy Cavalier says to Curly when they enter the room with Wendy is "Go push buttons."
Let the adults talk.
Yeah, and then
Just
like she
dismisses
goes
her.
and she pushes a button and like the whole wall lights up, and then she's like, oh, and she's like trying to figure out which thing.
Like,
what
do I do?
I missed that detail.
Yeah, it was nice. It was a good time.
Because he's dismissive. He's walking away as he's saying it. So if you aren't paying attention,
the background detail that they put into like just the little nuances is really nice, because it's shit that you should not notice unless you're looking. It's like if you ever see a live theater play, you should never notice the lighting. If you notice the lighting, they fucked up. It should all just flow. And I think overall they're just paying attention to the nuances, which is nice.
Yeah, no, this did a lot with the nuance. I think probably better than some of the previous ones. Because there's so much that's just kind of happening in the background or stuff that's not explained. I guess we can get onto Nibs before other characters. I was not expecting this Nibs angle.
That
way out in left field when
not this
she
angle.
walks up.
I did not expect her to walk up and say that. I of all the potential scenarios that I figured she would have some sort of PTSD about and her mind would fracture, which still is weird that a child's mind in a hard drive is fracturing and having PTSD. I did not see pregnancy.
Yeah, again, that's great writing for a child, because kids will just walk up to you and say the craziest fucking shit.
Yeah.
Just this out of left field shit.
Most of them are trying to act like adults. And this is her version of that. Is like, I think I'm pregnant, but also she's struggling with, the stuff that happened on the ship. And this is also, within this episode, there's that entire conversation between Hermit and the right hand man that's everywhere. Adam
number
Ines.
2, Adam, yes. Which I don't know if it was editing. I think it might have just been editing. But when they were in the lab and Cavalier threw the ball to get the lamb's attention, Adam caught that ball very quick and very precise, which could have just been the editing that they put together. But Boy Cavalier just chucks it at the ground so it bounces up, and Adam just goes, boop, and then pops it back down.
I like that because he's imposing, I think, just because he's like an older bald guy.
That's why I'm imposing.
What do you, hey.
Just saying.
Hey.
Older bald guy in a suit.
Okay, that's better.
But he's not jacked. But in that particular moment, you get to see something of a physicality to him, where it's
the
like
reaction time was insane.
But
again,
freaky.
Could have been editing.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if that's intentional or not. But he has that entire conversation with Hermit, because Hermit keeps trying. This is where Hermit's like, no, her name is, and I don't even remember. They don't even have it listed on the site. But Wendy's original name, Marcy?
Yes.
Something like that.
Marcy.
And he's trying to correct Adam, and then they have the whole conversation about what it means to be human, which is great. It's a very like Blade Runner thing. I was not expecting them to go there in an alien film, but they are having a conversation about what it means to because even basically every question Hermit is throwing at Adam, Adam's throwing right back. He's like, is that my sister? And Adam's like, I don't know, is it? Like, do you think that's your sister? And it's this very kind of jacked up sitting on a couch with your psychologist thing. But that conversation happens in the same episode that we're watching a child whose entire personality is on a hard drive, clearly fractured, like clearly having issues. So they have the potential not just to absorb, but to start seeing things in other ways. There's still that human ability to lose themselves, whereas everyone else seems to be perfectly fine.
Also, talking nibs, it's like, if you know the franchise, you get like a sinking feeling when she says that she's pregnant, because so much of this series is about like violation and body horror involving pregnancy. Pregnancy is like right at the center of Alien, and the horror of pregnancy. I'm just waiting for her to like open her belly and for like a bunch of bugs or some shit to pour out. Like I think they're leading toward. I think something like that is coming.
It would be a bunch of wires. It'll be something like I don't know what the next
like
step
all the
is,
gross
but now
milk that's inside of androids in this universe.
Milk.
Yeah, all that unpasteurized milk in the.
That would be fucking disgusting. Oh,
I mean, unless you're a walking refrigerator, then it's still fine.
I'm just saying there is something.
Hey, are you running on 2% of skim?
Something horrific is coming with that character, and it's gonna come after they lock her down or do whatever the fuck they're about to do to her.
I think she will snap and kill at least one human.
Yeah,
or destroy herself.
Yeah, or just interfere with everything.
I think Curly is going to interfere with more stuff necessarily than Nibs. I think Nibs is going to separate herself from the group, and she's going to be more of internal.
She's going to start doing damage on the outside while Curly's doing damage on the inside.
Yeah, I think Nibs just is going to accidentally cause damage just by what she's internally dealing with. Curly, I think, will actually do stuff, to try to hurt Wendy. That is going to obviously have repercussions. Slightly is going to try to get Hermit impregnated with a chest burster. That's going to be great.
I never thought about it. How much of this show is about the horrors of reproduction and the fact that the robots, when you see inside of them, they're basically full of jizz and golf balls wrapped in condoms. Like, it's kind of fucking horrific. It fits with the themes.
Great, thanks. What are we, Mike? We are not effing cultured.
No, but I mean, it's seriously. Go back and watch any alien movie when a robot is ripped in half. Tell me that's not what they're made of. And I think it's intended to make you think that. And the Xenomorphs shoot fluid that rips through you and deforms you and...
Sometimes. It depends. It didn't happen in episode 2. That paper shredder looked okay. Hermit walked away okay.
I wasn't here to talk about it, but my only complaint with this series is how absolutely toothless the Xenomorph is as soon as the main character is in the room. And it's extra noticeable because they have it kill so fast and so ruthlessly otherwise. Like, it runs into rooms and wipes out dozens of people in seconds. And then
it may be explained later, because we wondered the same thing in Alien 3 when it was face-to-face with Ripley, and it's like, why did it not kill her? Why did it leave her alive?
That's what I'm
all
saying.
the people.
It could still be because it's not seeing, at least in episode 3, it wasn't seeing her as a threat because it's not a living thing.
I'm mainly talking about towards her brother. I hope there's a reason the Xenomorphs want her brother alive.
Yeah, it let the brother... Yeah, because it did let Hermit live, which is strange.
That was... I'm not sure if it's plot armor or what, because there were eggs nearby, and if it was going to go also with the deleted scene, which is pure horror from the original Alien, where the captain and one of the original people were detained, and one was being turned into an egg because that xenomorph was by itself. Like that body horror scene, which is awesome and also horrible. Why would you do that? You know, there's a few things from episode 2 that make me still scratch my head, but maybe it'll be explained. Maybe after season 1 is done, then we can do a recap and go, all right, this is the shit that didn't make sense. I'm hoping that they do explain some of it, and I think some of it will have to do with the fact that Wendy can hear and can now,
Understand.
I'm going to say communicate, possibly. Yeah. I don't think it is the Jurassic Park Grant blowing into a 3D printed Velociraptor throat whistle and just making random sounds. I think Wendy's brain is able to analyze and get a general understanding of the communication, and she's actually talking to the other versions and facehugger and chestburster by the end of the xenomorph, because they seem to be going back and forth.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it has something to do with the fact that the xenomorphs know they have a connection to Wendy, and that Wendy has a connection to her brother.
Some reason. And that could have been why it dragged her Hermit away, because it views her somehow as part of the hive. I have seen, without even watching this episode, I had seen a bunch of theories that she is viewed as a matriarch of some sort, which I don't know why.
Yeah.
She is not large. She is not imposing. She is not taking on the physical characteristic of a queen mother, a matriarch, anything like that. But the fact that maybe she is exuding some other sort of telekinetic ability, power, conversation, whatever it may be, that the xenomorph is sensing that and going, okay, well, I'm just a drone compared to you. I need to get you down here, so that we can make a nest and harvest more bodies. Why are you stabbing me with that paper cutter? I don't like that.
Yeah.
Mommy, don't do that. Why did you poke me with the hook? My mouth, Mommy. Ow.
This episode is vibes. Like when you're talking about settings,
yep.
Mike, you mentioned earlier, this does a great job, not only of cassette futurism, because I love the machine that was adjusting her hearing. Very cassette futurism.
Yeah, let me tell you, Ridley Scott will die and go to hell for walking back on that with his sequels, with his prequels. I mean, just they're using holograms on a table. It's like, get that shit out of here. Get that shit out of here.
But yeah, in this one we get great settings. We get to see more of the island, which I was a little bit interested in if we were ever going to see, because it felt like they were kind of hiding the island. Like, we can't afford to be on an island, so we're just going to put stuff in the background, some IKEA stuff in the background. But there's a lot of great settings. We're getting to see in very real scenarios, we're getting to see the world open up, and we're getting to see what's going to get fucked up.
Yep, we got a bit more backlog of the 5 companies, because they were speaking about the 5. Because voting for someone to rule the world didn't work, so the 5 companies rose up and made it better.
Did they say all 5? Because if not, I know
they
Disney
did.
is one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, Disney is not one. Disney is not. Disney is now, in this world, a subsidiary.
If I was going to create a story set in the far future, I would change the name of our country just to Disney Presents the United States of America. I think that might be accurate to the actual future.
Disney Presents the Gulf of Mexico.
No,
The Gulf of Mickey Mouse.
Disney Presents Big Dick Energy. And then we just highlight Florida.
Though we didn't get a ton of critters in this one. We got was
I like what we got.
I feel like the other thing that every single Alien movie tries to do is one up the chestburster scene. I think we might finally have a winner with a disgusting eyeball thing that rips out your eye and replaces it. We are moving towards a scene where it does that to a human. Like, you see the train coming towards you, and it's like I'm tied to the tracks, like a damsel.
You can't look away. Well, one of my eyes is facing the floor, so I can't look away because it's going into my skull.
I hate eye stuff, and I'm just like every episode. I'm like, it's coming at me. There's no avoiding it. This one
went so hard because we don't know what it is doing, because the first time we saw it was in the cat. And the cat was the cat already looked kind of dead, like because of the shipwreck.
The cat was generally wrecked, either because the shipwreck, or because it took control of the cat, and then the cat attacked people, and some people messed up the cat. We don't know, or maybe it feeds off the body, and after a while, it then needs to move to a new host. We're not 100% sure, but we do know that it goes in through the eye socket and takes control of your brain, and then controls you completely from its little point in your skull.
Also, I'm excited to hear the thing talk. I want to hear what it has to say, because when it takes over a human, it's going to have something to say. I'm positive.
Oh, it's going to be like in Independence Day when it took over Brent Spiner and decided to communicate. I
think we already know that it's going to take over a human, and its line is going to be, "You're furry, what?"
I hope it has a proper British accent. Either that or it sounds like it's from Jersey.
Like, would you mind? What's with all the squid?
You what, mate?
Why isn't there more black?
You want a row?
Why the fuck does Neatcast keep sending ravens? This shit is uncontrollable.
So we get this whole scene where it very unceremoniously rips the eye out of the sheep, and then it doesn't even fully rip it out. To me, one of the creepiest things is that for a short time, the sheep had 3 eyes.
And it stood up on 2 legs because that
was fucked.
Like, what? Here's the weird thing. Why would an octopus creature with a single eye try to stand an animal that it saw on all 4s up on 2 legs? Why did it initially do that?
Yeah, it's working on something. Probably because it's been monitoring the people the whole time. Also, and real question, why is everything made out of glass?
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
Container. It's I would have a prisoner steel cell with a slidey door.
Well, you gotta. Hey, title of the episode: observation. You gotta pay attention. And Kirsch notices what's interesting with the sheep. They have it hooked up. The brain is all hooked up, so they can monitor. So they can see that there is a distinct difference from sheep to mind-controlled xenomorph alien octopus sheep. And he can tell this thing is very intelligent. It is learning. It is watching. So it's a matter of time until it figures out a pattern or how to break out of the cell and get to something that it deems more powerful and dangerous than a sheep.
But also, this thing is not going to blend in when it takes over a person, because that eyeball is.
What do you mean? It's.
I mean, maybe if it was Rick and Morty, he would blend in perfectly.
Yeah, so we had some good proper terror. I'm very interested in what Kirsch is going to be doing, because between the episode synopsis and a lot of the stuff that's happening, they're overtly leading you to think that it's the kids or these outside forces are going to be the problem, and I am convinced that Kirsch is going to be a problem.
Yeah, that one conversation is so great, because it can go either way. When Kirsch corners, I forget his name every time. Slightly. And he's talking about the see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil monkeys, the artwork on his wall. It's is he talking about the kid? Or is he talking about something he's planning on doing? That he wants the kid
Probably
to keep
both.
secret?
Well, yeah, and we find out later that that he then goes through the recordings of Slightly speaking, and he discovers that Slightly is communicating with Morrow outside. The question is Kirsch going to let that happen? Because now he's aware
It seems like it.
that Slightly's going to try something, and it's one of those weird things that you go, oh, this is why we can't trust AI and technology, because they always turn on us. We've only seen Weyland-Yutani synthetics, and they, other than the one bishop, they all go fucking crazy.
Yeah, we don't know if they're all full of jizz.
We don't know. We're about to find out.
I need to know.
We need to know. Is Kirsch filled with goose? We don't know.
Can I tell you that Timothy Olyphant is fucking killing it in this show?
He is. I love him in everything he's in. He's great. And you're starting to see, even as a emotionless synthetic, that he's getting sick and tired of Boy Cavalier shit. Because Boy Cavalier is being a dick to fucking everybody.
I hope that fucking eyeball thing rips his eyeball out. Please let him be the one who gets it.
Even Kirsch is like, at times, you just see him like pause for a moment and go, okay. And then he goes off to do the thing. But you can see that he contemplates concaving his skull. And then he just goes about his day. He's like, yeah, my programming says I can't do that. Until you're fired, then I pull a RoboCop and kick you out a window.
You were mentioning that, he's obviously listening to the conversation with Shirley.
Yeah.
But the conversation with Toodles about... Slightly, not Shirley. Don't call me Shirley.
I will call you all sorts of names.
But Slightly, he has that conversation and he listens in. But the conversation when Toodles says he wants to rename himself to Isaac, in my mind, I think there's a lot of play going on, and I think he is trying to get the kids on his side.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Because Toodles doesn't seem to care about and this, another great bit of the writing, is the kids are all interested in different people. Mm-hmm. You have those who seek out the scientists, the mother and father figures of the children. There are the few of them that kind of seek them out. You now have Nibs, who's the loner, Curly, who's seeking out Boy, Wendy, who everyone seems to love. Like, Wendy, I can see being sort of the most hated and obviously the most vied for, because Kirsch respects her enough to put her as the head of everything, where it's like, okay, you do this, but take Slightly with you and have him like help you. Slightly go with Wendy. She is the one who's leading everything. The boyfriend, girlfriend scientists love her the most. And she is their example of like all the fuckery that's going on. But
at the same time, it's like kind of that, that's why Curly is so, I think, spiteful of Wendy, is because Boy Cavalier purposely, and others, probably not on purpose, are putting her above everyone else on the pedestal because she's been here and she is more capable and she is special by their definition.
Yeah.
And that's continuing to see Curly's disdain for her, which is going to lead to, I think there's going to be multiple people and factors that lead to the downfall of Prodigy, or make Prodigy non-existent in the Weyland-Yutani series as we know.
So it's a great episode. I thoroughly enjoyed the director for this one was Ugla Hauksdóttir, an Icelandic director.
Before we stop talking about the episode, I'm so excited that I was hoping that the show was going to go in this direction, because IGN, when it first started, they said a very vague thing in their review. Before I even saw episode 1, they said, halfway through the series, something happens that a lot of people are going to leave because it's too goofy. But the show makes you believe it from everything that leads up to that point. And I was like, I bet there's a friendly Xenomorph. I bet someone makes a friend with a Xenomorph.
Oh,
and that is what is going to fucking happen. This is turning into a girl
Well, it's
and her
either
dog
the
story.
sheep standing or, the girl and her horse.
Yeah!
Two things. One, don't listen to IGN. They're fucking garbage. Two, if people are going to bitch about that, in the comics that have expanded on the lore of the aliens, are you familiar with what an alien king is?
Yeah.
Oh, very
a
vaguely.
shit idea, in my opinion.
But the alien king was brought into comics. It was a counterpart to the queen that would explain how different genetic substance would get from hive to hive, because the alien queens can reproduce asexually, and the kings would introduce a different genetic substructure to that hive so that the hive could continue to evolve with the next group of facehuggers, so on and so forth. At one point during a story arc, I think for Dark Horse, they, Wayland Yutani, of course, had a young king at one point, and they were able to tentatively raise it in captivity. It still killed a bunch of people, but for the ones that raised it, it still recognized them and wouldn't murder them outright. It was just like, I'm not going to murder you, but that guy standing next to you, I'm going to eat his face. And that's what it would do. I
can't... You know that this fucking friendly Xenomorph is going to die at the end and you're going to cry. You will believe a Xenomorph can make you cry.
This is the dog movie with Owen Wilson all over again.
100%. This is Miley and Me with a Xenomorph.
Yeah, Miley and Me. Yeah, this is old Chestburster. We're gonna bring it out behind the shed and blow its head off later.
They're gonna have a no paw, I'll do it moment where she goes out back with a shotgun.
Well, all of a sudden she's Southern. No paw, I'll bring it out back of the spaceship and shoot it with my pulse rifle. Here's what I want, because everyone's throwing fucking theories left and right about the connection between Wendy and the Chestburster. What do you think the connection is? Do you think it's just because she is different, communicating with it, that it therefore imprints on her as, oh, you are therefore a queen matriarch type position that I will now serve? Or do you think there's something more to her character? Like, do you think it's that simple, or they're going to build off that there's something else hidden?
I don't know, because for one main reason, as someone who's watched all his other stuff, Noah Hawley is a fucking psychopath. So I have no idea. And also, the only thing that makes me a little nervous about Noah Hawley is sometimes he rushes to... He wants to get to the crazy things that he imagines. He has a huge imagination, but sometimes he rushes through character motivation to get there. And he cheats. But he cheats... What makes it entertaining is he cheats in very obvious on-screen ways.
Well, good news. He's directing and writing the next episode, Mike. So you're in for a trip.
He's also directing. Okay.
Yeah, and then Ugla directs 6, and then Dana, who directed episode 2, is going to do 7 and 8.
Nice. I was hoping that we would get more of Ugla, because this was very well done. I'm interested in what Noah's episode is going to look like.
Ugla is titled The Fly. That's Ugla's episode.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. There's no way that's going to end well.
I bet at some point Wendy is going to... She's going to obviously have her attachment to her brother. I guarantee you she is going to have connections to the Xenomorph species, whatever our Xenomorph label is, and she is going to have to choose between the two, of humanity and the Xenomorphs, and that is going to be one of her struggles. I guarantee that is a direction that they're going to go.
Yeah, just, if you have her turn evil, just, please, Noah, please make it make logical sense. Don't just jump to the goofy thing because it's entertaining.
Make it hot. Make it sexy.
But also,
exactly.
I really hope that the Fly episode is just a bottle episode where they cook meth the whole time. Anyone get that? Huh? You get that reference? Someone did.
Possibly the worst episode of Breaking Bad that ever existed. The worst fucking episode.
Do you know
that
the
when I
backstory?
watched that, I stopped watching Breaking Bad for 3 fucking years because that episode was so fucking bad.
The backstory is that they knew that episode was airing the same night as the Super Bowl. So they were like, we can't let anything plot
So they
happen.
didn't even try. So they didn't care. They didn't care enough about their product that they wanted to put any effort in. That's why they put us through all that garbage. Oh, I can't wait for this bullshit to hit.
You're being mean to the Fly episode, and I don't like it. What if that plant thing that we haven't seen what it does yet, what if it just spits out a predator?
What if it drops a baby pred?
We haven't seen how predators are born yet. We haven't
That's
seen
true.
a
It's true.
pregnant predator mother. There hasn't been a Predator movie where a woman predator is walking around rubbing their big belly like, I'm expecting. So, you don't know.
Okay, well, we've almost reached an hour. We've definitely reached the length of an episode at this point, because I think
Thanks,
they're
Mike.
only like 50 minutes. Yeah, we kept it nice and short, just like Neatcast.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, obviously, we're excited. It's unanimous that this episode has really kind of hyped all of us up for the things to come. Is that basically it? Do you have any other final thoughts?
Did they establish that everything that happened at the end of 3 was in her head? Because she was relaying to Kirsch and everybody because they turned off her hearing of what she witnessed. But everything that happened at the end of 3 would have, especially with Kirsch walking away with the tadpole, he would have literally had to step over her body to leave the lab to go implant the tadpole in the lung.
They haven't established. They didn't say anything because we just start with her on the table.
No one really fucking addressed it, did they?
Yeah.
They just had her back in the table, which makes me leads me to believe that she, in her mind, it was all happening somehow. She had an out-of-body experience and floated down the hallway to the lab and witnessed what was happening.
Maybe the noise was kind of overriding her hard drive, basically, because we now know through Nibs that they can crack. And, Nibs is having difficulty. She has managed to somehow, push those thoughts away. So maybe the pressure of the chittering has fucked with Wendy's memories.
Maybe, but Dame Sylvia didn't react to her waking up. The guy spraying the mold in the hallway didn't react, even though he reacted to Nibs. There were things that still don't line up with her physically being there. He reacted to Nibs, but not to her when she walked by.
I've also learned to not take everything that I see in a Noah Hawley show at face value, because he likes to be very dreamy, very dreamlike. He's kind of like David Lynch in that way. Everything he does is very dreamy and dreamlike. And sometimes if you get lost in the logic, you're you're just gonna hate it. Legion is a fantastic show, but if you try to make it make sense, you're gonna go crazy.
Zack and Mike, these boys, where can we find the both of you, Zack?
They don't want to. They can find Mike and I over at the Neatcast.com or in any other pod chasers where we're gonna do a thing or something with Jeremy, who isn't here because he makes something of his life.
He doesn't believe in
And
aliens. If this was a show about Bigfoot, he'd be on here, but
he'd
not.
be here without pants on, but he's off being a dad or something, whatever.
So yeah, go check out the Neatcast. Actually, I was just on an episode as of this recording, the Wild Realities, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Leo was this week. Yeah, that was a good one. I really want Leo's second episode. If Jeremy takes too long, I will take his spot and interview Leo.
You know what?
Yeah,
Christmas in July, baby, even though it's almost September.
But Leo, just say what you said on the Neatcast again. I'm gonna preempt them. Just.
So yeah, go check out the Neatcast. And we'll be back next week. Hopefully Tuesday night. We'll see what happens, but we will be back with another episode on this. And I I'm doing this now, but I'm not going to spoil it. I have another special guest who's going to be here for the final episode.
Dope.
So on episode 8, I'm going to have somebody else make an appearance.
I am shocked. I don't know who it is. I am so excited to find out this special
Yeah,
guest.
it's an unknown
Don't tell
person.
me. Don't spoil it.
Unknown.
Oh, I won't.
Apparently, Mike's now here forever.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, it's not Mike.
I have inserted
Mike's not
myself.
even a special guest. He's just a guest.
Much like the Xenomorph, I have launched out of my egg and face hugged this podcast, and implanted my embryo.
I will say this before signing off. When that very final shot, when they show her looking at the Xenomorph, all I could think of was Bad Dragon is like, we're not even going to have to work for this. It's already there.
It's already there. It is. It's already on pre-order, and you know what we mean.
So to listeners, thanks for tuning in, and we'll do this again sometime. So, bye.
Bye.
Ba-da-ba.
But